sharply raising the level of immigration we permit, even up to a level of open borders. About sharply increasing
open borders.
Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal. The idea, of course. I mean, that's a right-wing proposal, which says
even Ezra's like, what?
But it would make a lot of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States, or UK, or Denmark, or any other country, I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
Day one, executive order, restore the legal status of 1.8 million young people in the DACA program. Day one, we change border policy so that federal agents will never snatch babies from the arms of their mothers. Day one, we introduce the comprehensive, which will result in a path toward citizenship for all of the 11 million who are undocumented.
Okay, Bernie. So, bro, which one is it, man? Give me, come on, you gotta. That was only 5 years ago. That wasn't that long ago, man. It is definitely suspect. I can see people, how's it ganging dudes and dudettes? My name is Sean. Oh, okay. So, man, okay. Now we're definitely gonna poke a little fun at mainstream media here. We're definitely going to defend Bernie a little bit here, but we're also going to ask a few questions because it seems like Bernie is flip flopping on a couple things. One being his medical records not willing to release them allegedly. It's what Chuck Todd. We're going to get into that. It's kind of spicy, a little spicy video, right? You know what I'm saying? But also with regards to immigration. Now, I personally, before getting look, okay, you know what I'm saying? Gravy. We got to do the gravy, guys. Come on. It's gravy. You know what I mean? One gravy equals one like. One mashed potatoes, one little lump equals one share. We got to make sure messages like this get spread because you have to share types of videos like these because first of all, Bernie does need to be held accountable for some of the things that he flip-flops on, but he also needs to be defended whenever he needs to be defended, right? So that's what we're going to do today. So anyways, my personal opinion is I do think it's okay to grow. You can change your opinions as you go if you get different data and, okay, this makes more sense now. Now, if you're just changing your opinions based off public interest, then it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? It's a tad bit different. Almost seems as if you're pandering or selling out. And I'm not saying Bernie's doing that, except for maybe on immigration. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into that because I do have a couple clips that I want to play for you guys where it's not like I pulled a clip from 1980. You know what I mean? It's a clip from 5 years ago where he's anti-immigration, and then just this recent debate or debate before last. There's been so many debates, but this recent debate where he is 100% pro-immigration on day one type of stuff. So anyway, let's get into this article. 78-year-old Bernie Sanders flip-flops on promise to release medical records. Democratic 2020 presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders on Sunday flip-flopped on his promise to release medical records. MSNBC host Chuck Todd played a clip of Sanders vowing to release his medical records before the first votes are cast, then pressed the Vermont senator on a broken pledge. The first votes have already been cast. You did not release your medical records. You released a few letters. Nobody interviewed your doctors. You did have a heart attack, apparently. Shouldn't voters see your medical records before Super Tuesday? Normally, Cuck Todd doesn't really, but this, whatever kind of papers, the executives handed him, whatever kind of questions they are setting him up, they are going hard on Bernie. Now some could say it's a legitimate question. I'm being one of them, but it coming from MSNBC, they're doing it just for the jab. You know what I mean? But whenever you're a front runner, you're also going to be subject to a lot of scrutiny, right? So, Sanders dismissed the question, saying, "We have released so much documentation, I think as much as any other candidate." Or let me say, "We have released so much documentation, I think as any other candidate. But no other candidate has had a heart attack. Todd shot back. Well, look, yeah, no other candidate is doing 4 out of 5 events a day running all over the country. I was until Andrew Yang stepped down, because that dude was doing like 7 a day at one point, man, especially in Iowa. That man was crisscrossing that state. Oh, man, those are good times. Anyway, so after, look, no other candidate is doing 4 or 5 events out a day, Sanders replied. That's still kind of fair, at his age, but he should also take that into consideration. And I think, the reason why MSNBC does this kind of stuff is just because people are just going to watch that, and they're going to see the narrative and just dismiss it. You know what I mean? So Sanders added he is trying to walk a little bit more, but the schedule doesn't allow me to. I love that they put that quotation, walk a little bit more. It seems like he's so old he can't walk. MSNBC. Oh, but the schedule doesn't allow me. Oh, man, Michigan Star, you guys are killing me. Okay, so 78-year-old senator suffered from a heart attack in early October, temporarily sidelining him from the campaign trail. He has insisted that he is in good health and is good enough health to serve as commander-in-chief despite the heart attack. Okay, so before we get into the immigration stuff, let's go ahead and play this little bit clip just so you guys can get some context here.
Said the following about your medical records. Take a listen.
I think it's the right thing to do. The American people have a right to know whether the person they're going to be voting for president is healthy. And we will certainly release our medical records before the primaries. It'll certainly be before the first votes are cast.
The first votes have already been cast. You did not release your medical records. You released a few letters. Nobody interviewed your doctors. You did have a heart attack, apparently. Shouldn't voters see your medical records before Super Tuesday?
We have as much documentation, I think, as any other candidate.
But no other candidates had a heart attack.
Well, look, no other candidate is doing 4 or 5 events a day running all over this country.
No, you've proven, I mean, there's no doubt, you've proven your mettle here, but you heard voters have been concerned about your age.
You can start releasing medical records, it never ends. We have released a substantive part of all of our medical records. We have doctors cardiologists who are confirming that I am in good health. I am in good health.
What changes did the doctors ask you to make that you've made?
I'm trying to walk a little bit more, but the schedule doesn't allow me. They didn't say, so I'm trying to sleep a little bit better. Sometimes that's hard, but I'm feeling great. Thanks.
My guess is winning will help you sleep a little bit better.
Winning will make me sleep a lot better, and I think we're going to do just that.
All right. Senator Bernie Sanders, the independent Democrat.
I told you it was spicy, guys. I told you. Oh my God. So, man, Cuck Todd and MSNBC, they're going after them hard, man. If I was a Bernie bro, if I was one of you guys, I would just be doubling down and just spreading misinformation, spreading this type of misinformation and correcting it with, videos like mine, other people's videos who call this type of stuff out. But now on the flip side, if you're one of those opposition, I could see you saying, well, I mean, look, you didn't release your records before the voting cast, and you said you would. Why is that? You got something to hide? So it's a legitimate critique as well. You know what I mean? So I go back and forth. I'm not a Bernie bro. I disagree with Sanders a lot, but I do like to defend him when it's necessary, right? So let's get on to some immigration. Let's get on the homepage so we can just have this as the background. And Jimmy Dore went after Pete Buttigieg. You guys better check that out. That was even super spicier. I love that. That was good stuff. Anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll these 2 clips where you see 5 years ago he is, not so much pro immigration, and then just here recently he's almost completely flipped on that. So anyway, let's roll the clip and I get into my opinion after that.
Sharply raising the level of immigration we permit, even up to a level of open borders. About sharply increasing
open borders.
Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal. The idea, of course. I mean, that's a right-wing proposal, which says
even Ezra's like, what?
But it would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States, or UK, or Denmark, or any other country, I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%. A Hispanic, 36%, African American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to do work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
Day one, executive order, restore the legal status of 1.8 million young people in the DACA program. Day one, we change border policy so that federal agents will never snatch babies from the arms of their mothers. Day one, we introduce be comprehensive, which will result in a path toward citizenship for all of the 11 million who are undocumented.
Okay, Bernie. So, bro, which one is it, man? Come on, you gotta. That was only 5 years ago. That wasn't that long ago, man. It is definitely suspect. I can see people saying why that could be suspect. I can see people saying that. So, but now on the flip side, I would say that, you're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to change your ideas if you get new data in. It just seems to me that Bernie might be sort of just doing it because he knows that the rabid Democratic base really wants that. Now, I would say that that's still kind of smart because you want to win, right? Especially with everything stacked up against you, you kind of got to pander a little bit, but you don't want to, go. And if you really believe what you believed 5 years ago, and that hasn't changed, and you're just saying what you're saying just to get votes, that's not going to end up well for you. Trump and people like that will attack you on that. Your opposition will attack you on that, man. So if I was one of Bernie's campaign advisors, I would be coming up with a lot of blowback for other candidates. These campaigns are starting to get dirty, and Pete Buttigieg is literally invading the establishment, the DNC, like Michael Bloomberg is. So if I was a Bernie Bro boy, I'd be on top of this type of stuff. You guys got to start sharing these videos, man. Get this stuff out there, because if people don't understand or don't know about it, Bernie's support is going to start to dwindle. So anyways, that's my dire warning for the Bernie Bros, and that's all I got for you guys right now. There might be a story coming up later on. It all depends on how the news goes, but I'll see you guys later.